I like my mama's food, it's so good to me. Her meatballs have the spice that make 'em taste so nice. A little wine after we dine makes you feel so doggone fine. My mama's a cooking, it's so good to me. I'm gonna get married to my girlfriend Lisa. She's never in the mood to cook me Italian food. I'm so scared I'll go to my grave eating food from the microwave. My girlfriend Lisa, she no capisce. I'll take a lasagna and some of her ravioli.
Hi, welcome to today's show. I'm Rosa, and today we are going to be making eggplant parmesan. And the eggplant parmesan that I'm going to be making is a little bit like regular lasagna. I'm going to be taking eggplants and breading them, and I'm going to layer them between some ricotta mixture. And then we're going to finish off today with some awesome Nutella paninis. They're so good. It's kind of like the adult version of the Nutella sandwich that I grew up on. So we're going to start with the filling first. I just want to get this all together mixed, and then I will work on the eggplant. So what I have here is, this is just some simple plain ricotta. You can get ricotta at the Italian store, which is my preference. I just feel that the quality of it is a little different. You can find ricotta at like your local supermarket, and I have found that it's a little wetter. It seems like it's kind of got a sweeter taste to it, so I like to control that, and this here has more of a mild taste, so I like to get that from the Italian store. It's a little drier and it works really, really well. So what I'm going to add to this is, I have here some Parmesan cheese, and I have some parsley that I cut up earlier today, so I'm going to just throw that in. I've got about 4 pounds of ricotta because I'm making 2 types of eggplants. I'm going to show you one that's ooey gooey yummy. It's eggplant that you bread and fry, but then I'm going to also show you one that's for those of you who are kind of on that low carb diet and need to watch some of that. I'm going to show you one where I take the eggplant, I'm going to grill it, and then layer that. So, being that I'm making 2 versions, I needed enough for that. So I've got Parmesan cheese in here. I got probably about 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, probably about 4 tablespoons of chopped parsley, give it some nice color. I've got some mozzarella cheese. I like to mix some of that in here. So this is just 1 pound. So we'll just put that in here. Let me just open it up. Yeah. Let's just throw it all. Why not? The more the better. And then some black pepper, and gotta season it up. Give it some taste. Some black pepper. Then I'm gonna use some salt. This is just some sea salt, and it doesn't have to be sea salt, but I just happen to have it on hand, so I thought I'd just go ahead and use it. So we'll see how that tastes. And then I like to put a little bit of breadcrumb in here. The breadcrumb, I'd say probably about 1/2 cup, and it really helps to give it some flavor, and it also will soak up any kind of liquid moisture, maybe that the ricotta kind of spills out. So I like to put some of that in there. And now for the eggs. For 4 pounds, I probably put in about 4 eggs. We'll put that in. We'll mix it up, see how it is, because you don't want too much, because you don't want the eggs to the ricotta mixture to kind of come out like a cake. You don't want that. So we'll just put these in here, and then we'll mix it up. This is a really good dish. You can make a whole bunch of it, and then, have a tray of it, and then take it every single day for lunch. That's what I do. I make a bunch, and then me and the hubby, we just take it for lunch every day until it's all gone. And it's actually really good for freezing. It keeps really well, so you could make it into individual servings, and then freeze it on up. It's good. So, gotta have a little bit of muscle power here when you're working with this. Mix it up, mix it up. See how it's becoming really nice and creamy? It's because of the egg that's binding it all together. Let's see. So you want to just make sure it's all mixed. And I'm doing this first, so that way it can all settle and the taste can all kind of come together. So it works out really, really nice. Okay, so I think this is pretty well mixed. This is the same mixture that I use when I make my lasagna. So if I'm making lasagna, or I'm making stuffed cheese manicotti, or if I'm making stuffed shells, I use the same mixture. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and taste this. Pretty good. I think it just needs a little bit of salt, and then I'm good to go with this. All right, mix that up, and then I will just put it aside. Good, done. I think that's gonna be good. Okay, now on to the eggplant. So what I'm gonna do, I have some store-bought eggplant here. And what I want to do is cut them up. Now you can do whichever way you want. You can cut these up into like circles, you know, or you can cut them long ways, which is kind of nice too. Whatever makes it easier for you. I think today I'm just going to cut them in circles. So I'm actually going to cut the top and the ends off and slice them on up. Now some people, what they'll do is they'll slice them prior, and then they will layer them in a colander with some salt, and that helps to tenderize it and bring out any of the liquid and moisture, because it does bring out a lot of, from the salt, it'll actually bring out a lot of water that's in these. But at the end, you'll have a really nice, tender eggplant. So, this dish can also be done the same way with zucchini. So if you're not an eggplant person, use zucchini. It comes out really nice. So I'm using basically one zucchini for each of my dishes. Okay, so we'll get these all cut up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these up, and then from here I will go ahead and come back and bread them. Okay, and then we'll layer it up. See you in a bit. While I have my eggplant that are grilling up on the grill, I'm going to start breading the other eggplants for the breaded method. So what I have here is just your regular breadcrumbs, egg, and then instead of frying them, I actually got a pan. I drizzled it with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm gonna bake them. So they will get just as crispy, just as nice. And that's how we're going to roll with this particular one. So I'm just going to go ahead and bread these up. And I'll check on my grilled ones. And I know that I'm going to have some extra because I purposely cut some extra eggplant. Because since I'm working with some grilled eggplants, I thought, why not show you another dish too? With the leftover eggplants that have been grilled, you can actually season them up with some fresh garlic and fresh parsley and some olive oil and maybe a hint of balsamic vinegar or whatever kind of vinegar you like, and it makes it as a really nice, healthy side dish for any kind of like steaks and chickens and things like that. I loved it. I actually used it as just a meal because it was so healthy. So very low in carbs. It's just eggplant. So why not? It's so good. So I'm going to do that too, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stuff off the grill. I'm going to finish breading these, and then we'll come up and I'll come back and we'll put this all together. Okay? I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I have finished grilling my eggplant, and see, there's my eggplant. Nice grill marks on it. Looks really nice. And you know, I did a little split last minute decision. I know in the beginning of this show I said that I was going to go ahead and bake up my eggplants, but as I was grilling mine, I said, you know what, why don't I just throw it on there as well? So look how beautiful these are. Nice grill marks on them. So, I mean, as you can see, it's very versatile. So you can grill them, you can bread them and fry them, you can bread them and bake them, whichever way you want. I just decided why not. I already had the grill going. So, first one we're going to start with, this is going to be a lot less carbs. It's just your eggplant parmesan that I grew up with. My mom made it this way. It's kind of like a Sicilian style. So what I'm going to do is take my fresh Napolitana sauce that I made, and all that is fresh tomatoes with fresh garlic and fresh parsley. I'm sorry, not parsley, basil. Those of you Sicilians probably caught me on that and said, whoa, what the? Yeah, I got it. So I'm putting that down. And then I'm going to layer in the eggplant right on top, just like so. Okay, make a nice layer of it. And what I'm putting on top is, this is just some scrambled egg. There's no milk or anything in it. It's just eggs that I scrambled. I have maybe about 6 of them in here. This should give me enough to make 2 layers. So I'm going to throw some on top, just like so. Everything is cool, so that way it doesn't scramble the eggs. What's going to happen is it's going to layer in there, and when it cooks, it kind of looks like a nice thick layer. It's really cool. And I'm just going to put in some Parmesan cheese on top of that. I'm going to throw on a little bit of mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, if I can open it. These containers are terrible. Whew. Okay. Better go start working out again with all that. Just going to put a little bit on top. You could even throw in little chunks of eggplant, some chunks of the mixture that we did with the ricotta cheese, if you wanted to. Okay, so that looks good. Then I'm going to put a little bit of sauce on top of that. Yep, right on top. Interesting, isn't it? You'll see when it comes out really good. Okay. And then I'll just do one more layer. So again, eggplant right on top. So I'm going to have a lot of extra eggplants that's grilled, and that's cool because remember I said that I'm going to show you another little side dish that you can do with eggplants that are grilled like that, and it's so good. Okay, looks good. So I'm going to throw this right on top of that. I think that's good. Don't want to overpower it. And then we'll throw on, again, some mozzarella cheese. Well, let me wait for that. Let's put some Parmesan, some sauce, okay, then some of that gooey, yummy mozzarella cheese right on top. And I've got my oven going at like 450 degrees. Then you just stick it in there for like, I don't know, half hour, 20 minutes, so it's all cooked through. But before I do that, since I'm making 2 dishes of eggplants, why not do them at the same time? So this one will just kind of sit out here for a second while I switch spots and make the next one. Okay. So I'm going to simply take that same napolitana sauce, put a nice healthy layer at the bottom. There we go. And then I've got my grilled eggplants that I'm going to put right on top. Go. Just layer them just like you would if it was like lasagna noodles or something. These are still piping hot from the grill. Okay, now on top of that comes the ricotta cheese mixture. Okay, so I'm going to just throw in some nice big lumps of that. I'm going to make 2 layered basically. Okay, so put a nice healthy layer. I'm going to put a whole bunch of it, and I'm going to just spread it out. Okay, that should be good. There we go. So then I just start spreading it out. You know, it's a nice side dish to have with this, of course, is garlic bread. And an easy way of garlic bread is taking some nice rustic bread, and instead of using like garlic powder or anything like that, you take fresh garlic, toast the bread, take the fresh garlic and actually just grate it right on top. Like grate it against the bread, and that's it. Brush a little bit of olive oil, Parmesan cheese, parsley, you're good to go. It's good. Okay, that's my first layer. Then I'm going to put a little bit of sauce again. Okay, and then I'm going to put a second layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue doing that the top layer. We'll finish it off with some mozzarella cheese. Then I'm going to throw it into the oven for same time, probably about 25 minutes or so, half hour. And then we can enjoy it. But of course, up next, I'm going to go ahead and show you about that Nutella panini. Oh my God, it's so good. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back, and I wanted to show you what you could do with the leftover grilled eggplant. So what I'm going to do is take my eggplant, and I'm going to just layer it here in a dish. Okay, real nice here. This is a really nice side dish. I love with like grilled steaks and things of that nature. Okay, so just going to layer it really nice, one on top of each other. And it's cool because they're all like different sizes and stuff. Okay, so I've got that. And then I'm going to take my fresh garlic here and cut that up. There we go. And I'm going to do a rough chop. It's not going to be anything super fine, but just want to add a few of them here. Put them all over. Okay, I'm going to put maybe about 1 garlic clove in total. That should be good. See, when you do your garlic like this, you get a lot of forearm workout. Okay, put my second clove in. Cut that through. Okay, so you could splash some lemon juice if you want it on top. It gives it just a little bit of a, you know, that bit of zing to it. You could do that, or you could just leave it, you know, with just the vinegar, and I'm going to use some balsamic vinegar on it and the olive oil. Okay, that should be good. We'll just finish this one up. There we go. Okay, so got the garlic in there. Now I'm just going to throw a little bit of balsamic on top, just like this. A little bit of fresh parsley that I had cut earlier. Throw some of that on top. And then a little bit of olive oil. Gotta have that. If I could just open it up. Okay, throw some of that. And that should be good. Okay. And look at that dish. That is my eggplant with some fresh parsley, fresh garlic, grilled eggplant. You can throw in some salt and pepper. And there you go. Got a nice little side dish. Good, huh? We'll taste this in a little bit. Up next, we're going to take care of that panini that I keep talking about, the Nutella panini. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So next is my paninis, as my eggplant is cooking in the oven. And what I have here is some semolina Italian bread, nice and crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Got some Nutella, and I've got some powdered sugar and butter, of course. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut into this bread. And my panini maker is grilling up. It's getting nice and warm. I've got to set it like a high. This is a really nice dessert. It's kind of like that adult version of the Nutella. I don't know about you, but I grew up with Nutella as my sandwich every day. And the kids at school used to say, "Oh, you got your chocolate sandwich again today?" I didn't care. I absolutely loved it. So good. And now it's probably one of the most popular things. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this bread up. Okay. We're going to get 2 nice long pieces here. And I've got them about a ½ inch thick. Not too bad. Except when you... Okay. That's good. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bread and I'm going to spread my Nutella on it. Look at that. Good stuff. Spread it on just like so. Make sure you get every corner. If you have guests over, they're gonna love this. Because all you have to do is serve this, even with maybe like a sprig of mint at the side, cut them in half, sprig of mint. You can even put some cool, I mean, there's so much you could do with these. Nice raspberries. It's just endless. Okay, so we got that. Got my Nutella. You don't really have to put it on both sides. You can if you want, but if you put a nice layer, I think we're good. So we got that. Put my bread on top. Now, what we're going to do is get some butter, because we need something to crisp it up. Okay, so get some butter here. I'm just going to butter each side. Yeah, so if you're on a diet, this is probably not the best dessert for you. Okay. So obviously I don't eat this every day. Wish I could, but I cannot. But it's really good. Okay, so I'm putting butter on both sides. That's going to give it its nice golden color. Nice flavoring. Okay, good. So now, I'm going to get this right down in my panini. Can you hear that? It's sizzling. Okay, we're going to let that sizzle. It only takes a few minutes. Kind of clean up here a little bit. Okay. I love Nutella. Okay. So, got my plate ready here for my Nutella panini. I had something like this at a restaurant once, and it was so good. It was to die for. And I just thought, we can make it really, really special by adding that type of bread that's, that Italian crispy crust bread. That's really good. So this I thought was a really nice type of bread. Even though it's got some of the sesame seeds on it, that's okay. That just gives flavor. I was in Italy once, and we had these paninis that they made. It was incredibly good, and they were very thin breads, and you sliced it in half, and it had Nutella on it. But on top, and this was really interesting, on top they actually sprinkled some salt, and the salt along with the chocolate brought it out more, and it was incredible. It was so good. Let's check how my panini is doing. Ooh, can you hear that? Oh, it's grilling up nice. Ooh, does it look beautiful? This is one that we'll get to. I'm going to taste it right away. Just give it a couple more minutes, and it should be really nice. Let's check a look at the other side of it. Oh yeah, almost. Yeah. We'll just give it a couple more minutes here. I'm going to finish grilling this, and I'll make a couple more, and then we'll be back, and I'll show you the finished product. Let's take a look and see how this one's coming through. I think it looks good. Ooh, that is a beauty. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get this off. Look at those grill marks. Doesn't that look beautiful? So what I'm going to do is cut this in like a diagonal shape. It's a little hot. Okay, there we go. We cut it in a diagonal. Gonna put one on top of the other. Sprinkle a little powdered sugar on it, just a tad. There we go. And there is the Nutella sandwiches. I'm guessing they're really good. Let's try. The bread is crunchy, and you have the buttery taste with the chocolate oozing. Oh my goodness. This is definitely simple. So good. Okay, well, we're going to be back in a few minutes, when my eggplant parmesans come out of the oven, we're going to go ahead and test those out and see how they do. Be right back. Okay, so my eggplant parmesans have come out of the oven and they've cooled a little bit. So first what I'm going to do is cut into the Sicilian one that was done with just the grilled eggplants and the egg in the middle, if you remember that. So what I'm going to do is get my plate, just put a little bit of sauce at the bottom, just like that, and then lift off a nice piece. Look at that, right on top. Wow, it's still piping hot. But as you can see, you've got the eggs in between. The eggplant parmesan is really just a colorful dish. Many people like it. And this one here, like I said, except for the mozzarella cheese on it, it's a pretty healthy dish. So let's try this one. So good. Wow, you can really taste the garlic and the napolitana sauce. Okay, well, I want to try, of course, the other one. So what I'll do, same thing, just kind of cut myself a small piece. Let's put that one right next to it. No sense in dirtying another dish. Okay. So that one, you can see the difference. That one has all the eggplant, the ricotta in between, the cheese. Let's see how that one came out. You got the cheese, the ricotta in the middle. It's breaded, this one here, but remember I chose to grill it. It was a split-second decision. I was gonna bake it. Well, that came out really, really good. All right, last but not least, my eggplant. Okay, let's try one of these. Eggplant should be nice and tender. And this is sat out, so it's gotten nice and chilled, which is great. It's good for summer. Oh, what a nice summertime dish. All right, well, I am all out of time. Thank you so much for joining me today at another session. Remember to check us out on Facebook. Like my page, it's just Rosa, Cooking with Rosa. Then if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please go ahead and email that to cookingwithrosa@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe and share our page out to your friends. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to finish here my eggplant parmesan, my 2 types. This is a treat. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
I like my mama's food, it's so good to me. Her meatballs have the spice that make 'em taste so nice. A little wine after we dine makes you feel so